Kids, happy times are upon us. Everyone's favorite is coming soon to Dokkan, RIBRIANNE. Now, it is looking like RIBRIANNE will be the April Fool's Day card for both Global Dokkan and JP Dokkan. I have an assortment of evidence here piled for y'all to see. Now, I personally do think this is a clever idea by the folks over at Akatsuki and Bandai. Obviously, RIBRIANNE is not exactly the most exciting or beloved character, so to make her kind of like an April Fool's Day card would be kind of clever, I think, and a good idea. Also, depending on how things play out, they could make her an interesting card, right? So, I kind of want to go over a couple of things. One, I'm pretty sure Global and JP will get her at the same time. Now, the reason I say this, let me head over to this tweet. So, this is Kawhi, one of the French data miners here, who basically turned up assets in the game for RIBRIANNE super attacks, right? So, we scroll a little bit down here, and it's like, oh, what's in the files? And here we go. The attack names in French, English, Korean, and Japanese. So, safe bet that, you know, again, it'll be coming to Global and JP at the same time. There is precedent for this as well. This is 2017's April Fool's Day card. Mass-produced Soldiers Cyberman, or Cyberman in the English dub. This card came out to JP early because, obviously, you know, the way it works, Japan, it will be April 1st in Japan, a little bit before it'll be April 1st, like, you know, in the United States and shit, right? So, I remember Japan got this guy, and then the next day, Global got the Cyberman card. So, I do expect the RIBRIANNE card, if it is a card that will be gifted on April 1st, I do personally think it will come to both versions at the same time, especially since the info is actually, like, the assets are already in JP and English. Here's what the attacks are called. In English, RIBRIANNE Eternal Love and RIBRIANNE Super Amour Shower. Now, I went ahead and did some research, and here is the RIBRIANNE Super Amour Shower. As you guys can see, right out of the turn of power. So, I mean, the shit is, like, super, super legit. And of course, this is, funny enough, from the 1 hour special where Goku and Jiren first do battle. So that's cool. So we took a look at that. Here, of course, are 3 arts for RIBRIANNE in the game. I did a kind of like a Let's Play style run of the Turn of Power events that recently came to JP. And of course, it has these 3 arts. We have, you know, RIBRIANNE in her base form. This is Brienne de Chateau. We, of course, have her doing her little heart thing. And then, of course, there is this other art as well, one of the boss arts for RIBRIANNE in the game. So, people have theorized, because there's 2 super attacks, this could be an LR. There's a lot of different things it could be. Now, do I personally think it's going to be an LR? Oh, I like that picture, Kefla and Vegito against Jiren. That's a cool pick right there. Alright, so we took a look at this, RIBRIANNE. And then, of course, we have the English names as well for RIBRIANNE. All exciting stuff. Now, in terms of, like, what type of unit RIBRIANNE might be, there are several different choices. I do think that they could make her a sort of Peppy Gal leader, just kind of as a joke, right? Like, I feel like that could happen. I did actually just do Peppy Gal's kind of character, like, team showcase too, because obviously with the recent additions of Caulifla's Awakening, Kefla's Awakening, plus the new SCR Caulifla and the Int Super Saiyan 2 Kale, you know, the team has gotten a little robust. You know, there are some very solid characters in the Peppy Gal category, not to mention the SCR Android 18 is actually a very powerful unit right here in her own right, with, you know, attack and defense 50% when HP is 50% or above, and she gets attack 50% at the start of turn. So for a lot of the fight, Android 18 is going to have attack 100%, defense 50%, which, you know, if you think about it, Angel Golden Frieza, Dokkan Fest card, is attack 150% and then defense 50%. So Android 18 is just only a slight little downgrade from that at 100% 50%. So this Android 18 is a pretty solid card, I would say. Now, the only thing is, do I think RIBRIANNE would actually count as a Peppy Gal? No. I don't think so. That's why it really would have to be like an April Fool's Day shit, right? But more so than the Peppy Gals, there's this giant RIBRIANNE. Now, here's maybe where giant RIBRIANNE could be a Peppy Gal, because she certainly does have some large titties, if you guys do not notice. And then there's, Android 18 fighting giant RIBRIANNE, just showing the difference in size right there. So, that would lead me to this. RIBRIANNE could be a character on the giant category. Now, the only thing about this is, how would this pertain with Global, right? Because I am reasonably certain that since Global got the Cybermen at the exact same time last year, that they also, like, it wouldn't make sense for them to then, like, kind of go backwards and not have them come out at the same time this year. The year before the Dead Yamcha Dokkan event was actually the April Fool's Day kind of gimmick in 2016. Global did eventually get that like a full year later. I don't think the 2018 April Fool's shit is going to be like that. But there is a possibility that the card could maybe come out on Global unfinished, right? Because JP does currently have the Tournament of Power story event, and they have the anime climax campaign going until April 5th. So let's say they added a new stage to the Tournament of Power event. Maybe we could farm medals to awaken RIBRIANNE either to an LR. An April Fool's Day LR really would be a good idea, by the way. Either to an LR or to a TUR. Like, you could awaken her, right? Now, they could, I guess, just release the SSR form on Global, and then once the event actually comes out properly on Global, then Global will be able to awaken her as well. Like, it is a shame kind of have like a to-be-released type thing, but at the same time, I've seen kind of like how a lot of you guys are with Global and JP, and I think you guys probably would prefer to get, like, let's just say that they do give out an SSR as a login gift on April 1st, right? And then you can get medals from like a story event, and you can awaken her to a TUR or an LR. Like, if you guys on Global got the SSR at the same time as Japan but couldn't awaken her yet, I mean, that would kind of fall in line as well with, like, Ultra Instinct Goku. Then, of course, like, look what they just did on JP, where they released Jiren as well. Like, Jiren is currently a card that does not have a Dokkan Awakening, and who knows when he's going to get his Dokkan Awakening, because the fact that they didn't do it after the final episode kind of makes me think they're probably not going to do it anytime soon, unfortunately. So, that's the thing, right? Like, Giant RIBRIANNE on Global, I do think they will release a RIBRIANNE that goes giant. There's also a chance it wouldn't be her, but the giant category is one of the weakest categories in the game alongside the low-class Saiyan category. So, I actually wouldn't be opposed to RIBRIANNE being, like, a good card, because, like, look at this category. Like, you have, like, Tapion is okay. This Kid Goku is solid. I mean, attack and defense 70%. And, like, Super Baby 2, no, not Raditz. Raditz is not good. No, we don't need to worry about Raditz. But, like, Super Baby 2 is okay. Attack 100% when HP is 30% or above. It's just his links. Like, he doesn't have Transform, which is a common link that, like, many of these other units do have, kind of as a common key link across the team. Super Baby 2 does not have that, which does hurt him as well. Like if you guys just look, like, a lot of these units aren't really all that much. They're not all that they're cracked out to be. I guess this Piccolo is kind of interesting. All enemies attack minus 12%, rare chance to turn into the giant Namek. That's not that bad of a passive, actually. And he does have an interesting link set with, like, big bad bosses and demon and stuff. But I think this guy might be getting a Dokkan Awakening very soon. On JP Global, it might be a little ways off, because they're doing a lot of themed cards recently. Related to the World Tournaments. And the next one coming up on JP will be the 23rd World Tournament, the one that Goku won. And I think they'll probably awaken some cards like the Foot Kamehameha Goku and stuff that were pertaining to this tournament right here. So the next tournament on JP will definitely be very, very exciting. Now, I do think eventually we will get that RIBRIANNE with the giant mechanic or transformation mechanic. So she could be pretty good at that point. Hopefully, I mean, they could just make like a better leader. You know, if they're going to have gimmick categories like giant peppy gals, low class Saiyans, like kind of gimmick categories with not really the greatest like unit listing, they should give them like bigger categories. Like if the peppy gals team had a leader with like 200% across all stats, that might be like an interesting team to run. Like, you know, have fun with the Peppy Gals team, but they have like some absurdly high percentage. You know, they don't have broken like LR Super Vegito or LR Gohan or LR Broly to put in the category. So like you could probably do shit like that, make the percentages higher. You know, just some food for thought of things they could do. But again, guys, RIBRIANNE should be coming so should be Saturday for JP, and then Sunday Global will get it. You know what? I'm gonna say I personally would prefer if RIBRIANNE was in LR, but we'll see what happens. Regardless, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.